Getting up at this point in my life where I don't give a fuck. Got hoes like I'm Tiger, so pass me the putt. Nothing I got ever came out of love. Look how she stare when I hop out the truck. Grab some roses, then kiss her, then grabbing her butt. But one thing I'm always gonna keep it a buck. And one thing I'm always gonna keep it the tug. It's 1,000 HP, get the hell out the way. Too many hoes won't get the hell out my face. 5 Star Resort had a hell of a stay. See Jamaican Petite got a hell of a way. I'll call up Lil G and he'll come with the K. Many nigga be sure better grab the obey.
Yo, welcome back to part 2 of our betting podcast with Demfootballguys. You already know who it is. Your host, Baba Yaga. Let's get right into this. First of all, like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you fuck with the plays. Let us know what plays you're taking. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Make us one of your sources. We on Apple Music and Spotify. Anywhere you need us, you can find us. Let us know what's going on. Let's get right into the second half of the 1 p.m. EST slate, Eastern Time Zone slates. So, that's... We've already covered the 9:30 London game and the 1 p.m. And the first half of the 1 p.m. game, the first 3 1 p.m. games in the earlier slate, in the earlier video, so you can check that out. Let's get right into this. So we've covered, just to be clear, we've covered the London game, we've covered the Tennessee Titans and the Bills, we've covered Miami Dolphins and Colts, and we've covered the Houston Texans and Packers in the other video. If you have not watched that, take a moment to go back there, check it out, get your plays, and come meet us back here. So let's start. We started with the Bengals and Browns game. As you might notice, I do not have my co-host with me, so I only got my plays to work with. We're going to start with the Bengals and Browns over under 41.5. The Bengals are highly favored at that. I want to go with the under on this game, simply because the Browns are trash, but the Bengals defense are surprisingly trash. So I'm gonna go with the over 41.5 Bengals money line, or Bengals minus 5.5. That game has just miraculously shifted up here. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, I would say we start with under 41.5. Bengals money line would probably be the number, probably be the safe spot. Realistically, if anything, I would probably actually take the over 41.5 Bengals money line and assume that the Browns do see a slight upwork in their ground game, get something going, get some points on the board, and then the Bengals still take the W. I think the minus 5.5 is also safe, but it's such a big margin that I don't usually feel too comfortable taking those. Let's start with the touchdown props. You already know Jamar Chase anytime tub. He missed it last week, but I think it's back to being a lock this week. They say Nick Chubb is probably going to play this week. If he does play, how healthy he is, I don't know, but I do think that Chubb could find the end zone this week. I like the idea. If he gets to work, he's going to find the end zone. As far as everyone else goes, I do want to say Mike Gesicki, but I haven't seen enough functioning work from Mike Gesicki or Eric Hall to take them, but I do think one of these two tight ends will score. I do believe Chase Brown also sees the end zone, or T. Higgins. Actually, I'll probably take T. Higgins on the anytime tub, along with Jamar Chase. If I'm going to skip the passing work because Boogie and Gator are not here, and they're the ones who usually do that. So let's get into the receiving props. Receiving yards. I like Judy over 47.5. He's the only receiver on the team at the moment. I want the under on both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins simply because I do think there's going to be a lot more running this game than passing. But I do think Jamar Chase still gets his. Well, maybe I can give Jamar Chase the over, and then take the under on his receptions. But I won't do that. I think the 5.5 is fine. T. Higgins, I like the under 5.5 for T. Higgins. I don't think there's a reason for T. Higgins to get 6 receptions this game. Jerry Jeudy, I'm going to leave his receptions alone because we do need to see that. But if we can see an Elijah Moore uptake and work, 2.5 doesn't make me that comfortable because I don't know how much work actually goes towards him and how much of it goes towards Njoku. So if you're not feeling comfortable with Njoku, I would take an alt on Njoku's receptions. But for the most part, I actually don't like this game for its receiving work. I don't like this game's receiving options simply because the Browns' receiving game has been trash. This 38.5 is tempting for Nick Chubb. I think if Nick Chubb plays fully healthy, 38.5 is easily attainable against the Bengals line. And then on the other side of it, I do like actually. Do we have any receiving work for the I'm good. I think right now this is where we are. I'm good with this decision of where we are. So if we were to look at this, what we have so far, we have Cincinnati Bengals money line over 41.5. Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. Nick Chubb anytime touchdown. T. Higgins anytime touchdown. Jerry Jeudy over 47.5. T. Higgins under 60.5. Jamar Chase over 76.5. Jamar Chase over 5.5 receptions. T. Higgins under 5.5 receptions. And Nick Chubb over 38.5 rushing yards. Like I said, I don't love this game. I know we have 11 parts of that ticket, but I don't love this game that much. Let's see. Let's move on to the next one. All right. We are now at the Giants in New York. The Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles at New York City. The game line right now is over 42.5, plus or minus 3. I feel like this game I could take the -3 Philadelphia, the under 42.5. I feel like this game won't be as high scoring or high powered as people are expecting. So far from what I'm seeing, the Giants have been producing really well. They've been very efficient with the ball. And I think that to be honest, if I was to really say how the game should go, it should go over 42.5. The Giants have been really explosive on offense. They've been capable of putting up points. The Eagles have a very boring, very useless defense. And the Giants defense is also equally as useless. They're a little bit better at containment than the Eagles. So I would say that this is a very high possibility. But the only reason I have it as this is because I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles tend to really deal with the Giants specifically. And sometimes with divisional matchups, it doesn't matter the history. It doesn't matter what you did before. It doesn't matter who you've played before. It kind of all comes down to it being the way it is, status quo and whatnot. Saquon Barkley. I don't know how I feel about Mr. Tush Push this week, but I do like A.J. Brown. I do like Malik Neighbors. That defense is I'm going to leave Singletary alone because he is splitting carries, but I don't mind risking that on Tyrone Tracy. I will leave that there as is. I think Dallas Goedert scored if he was playing this week, but I don't believe he is. And because of that, I'm going to leave the tight ends alone, including Theo Johnson, and I'm going to leave that alone. But let's get into the receiving props. For the receiving props, it's almost like 16.5 for Saquon Barkley is almost implied. AJ Brown 73.5, very much an easy constant. Malik Neighbors, I'm going to leave his receiving yards alone only because I am not entirely comfortable with him fresh off of concussion. I think he does, he does produce. He does have a good game, but I don't want to take that as a guarantee. And I think most of our work this week will actually come from receptions. And I do feel like as far as receptions go, I want AJ Brown's under 5.5. I want Malik Neighbors over 6.5 is crazy. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's a little much. But even Wandale Robinson 5.5 is crazy. Like, but I will take Saquon Barkley's 2.5, and I can't trust Theo Johnson with the 1.5 with no Saquon Barkley's 2.5, and I can't trust Theo Johnson with can't trust Theo Johnson simply because Neighbors is back, so they probably don't need to spread the ball as much. But that 6.5 is tempting. I'm going to take the under on that 6.5 for Neighbors, and I'm going to leave Wandale Robinson's receptions alone and leave Darius Slayton's receptions alone. As far as rushing yards goes, I feel like I'm missing out on something by not touching Devontae Smith, but I'm good. As far as rushing yards goes, I really like Saquon Barkley on the ground, and because of that, I feel like I should leave his receptions alone. But I really like Saquon Barkley on the ground against this Giants offense. I think that's a pretty good way to attack that. Daniel Jones, that boy loves to run recently. I've been seeing him run. I don't like when he runs. I don't like the way it looks, but I've been seeing it. Tyrone Tracy versus Devin Singletary. I get the split. I'm probably gonna go Tracy because I'm expecting more from Tracy this game, and then I will probably call it a game. Oh, I wonder what can be combined here. Either way, doesn't matter. The tickets look so far as under 42.5. Philadelphia Eagles -3. AJ Brown anytime scorer. Malik Neighbors anytime scorer. Tyrone Tracy anytime scorer. I'm pretty sure Saquon Barkley anytime tub should be there. There we go. Tyrone Tracy over 33.5 rushing yards. Saquon Barkley over 78.5 rushing yards. AJ Brown under 5.5 receptions. Malik Neighbors under 6.5 receptions. AJ Brown over 73.5 rushing yards. 73.5 receiving yards. And Saquon Barkley over 16.5 receiving yards. That's what I like. So let's get into these. Let's get into the next game. We have. I don't know why this thing keeps starting me at the top. We have. My NFL games don't want to load all of a sudden. We have the Detroit Lions against the Minnesota Vikings. I love this game. I love the idea of this game. I think it's one of those games that I would usually say should be over, and then somebody would tell me it will be under. I like the Vikings to take this game. I like the over 50 points. I feel like neither of their defenses are good enough to really. Well, the Vikings defense is actually good, so I'm going to go with the under 50. I'm going to go with the Vikings money line, and then call it at that. But in terms of touchdown scorers, this one's always a fun one to do. David Montgomery can't be stopped. They will get to the one, and they will score. I like David Montgomery. Aaron Jones, him being on this list is interesting because I feel like he might be limited this week. But I do like Aaron Jones. If they get anywhere near there, he's gonna see the end zone. I'm gonna leave Gibbs alone this week. No, I'll take Gibbs. I always got to go with Laporta. I'm going to leave J-Mo alone. And Justin Jefferson is a must. And yeah, because the Lions line is good. But as far as their passing defense, I don't really care for it. Addison probably scores this week, but I'm not going to take that. So let's go into the receiving props. I think we have a lot to work with here. I like Justin Jefferson's 100 yards. I would actually take the alts for Justin Jefferson for 105 yards. Well, actually, this is something I've been meaning to do. 18.5 first quarter yards for Justin Jefferson. I love that. I'm gonna do that one. I like total receptions for Justin Jefferson 6.5. I like Amon-Ra's. I like Jordan Addison's 3.5 better. I like Amon-Ra's 6.5. I like Laporta. I don't like Laporta's 3.5. I don't like Montgomery's. I don't like JMO's. Laporta should end up with that because the run game isn't going to be it's probably going to have a little difficulty this week. But getting to the actual receptions, the actual receiving yards, I like Justin Jefferson's. I'm going to go find his overall total. I'm comfortable with Amon-Ra 72. I'm actually more comfortable with Laporta's 41 than I am with Amon-Ra 72. If Laporta doesn't get injured again. David Montgomery, I'm going to leave him alone. JMO, I'm going to leave him alone. And then with Justin and Addison, I like his 47 also. And if I had to pick a person for alternative receiving yards, I actually want I want 105, but I guess I'll take the 100 plus for Justin Jefferson. And I low-key want the 100 plus for Amon-Ra also. But I'm not going to take that because we're gambling. We're not throwing money away. But, yeah. As far as rushing props goes, I wish they had like a first quarter rushing props. Oh, they do. Jahmyr Gibbs over under. Whoa, I didn't know they had over unders for the first quarter rushing yards. That's interesting. David Montgomery over 12.5 against the. I like that. I like that a lot. And then as far as their actual rushing, Sam Darnold, you see, that's why I was saying that about Aaron Jones. They don't actually have him on this list because there's a little discrepancy about who's going to get most of the work there. But I do like us for where we are. I think that's fine. So to recap this game, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, no, we have the game lines first, which is Minnesota Vikings money line. I got Minnesota taking the game. I got the game being under 50.5 points. But as far as touchdowns go, I'm comfortable with David Montgomery. I'm iffy on Aaron Jones. I like Sam Laporta. I love Justin Jefferson. I like Jahmyr Gibbs. And I like Sam Laporta. And then if we are talking about receptions, I have 6.5 receptions for Amon-Ra St. Brown, over 6.5. I have over 18.5 receiving yards for Justin Jefferson in the first quarter. I have 41.5 receiving yards for Sam Laporta. Okay, I'm fine with that. I like Jordan Addison's over 3.5 receptions. I like Jordan Addison over 47.5 receiving yards. I like Justin Jefferson for over 100 yards this game. And I like David Montgomery over 12.5 first quarter yards. That is it for this game. Let me go through this. Let me look at the slate one more time. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, great. Let me get us going to the next game. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hit that notification bell. Make us one of your sources. As we're going through this, going through these games, kind of looking at what's in front of us. We just kind of want you to support us. We support you back. Let us know what you liking, what you taking, what you're not taking. If you're making money this weekend, if you're not making money, if your bets have been hidden, how your fantasy leagues are going. We'll talk to you about anything football, to be honest. And check us out on Instagram. We all have our personal pages down in the bio. If you want to interact with some of us, but not all of us, if you want to tell me that you don't fuck with Gator, if you want to tell Gator you don't fuck with me, join us down there. But the last game on the slate for this video will be the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Okay. Obviously, I got the minus. I have the -3 for Atlanta Falcons. But to be honest, I have the +3 Seahawks. Moneyline Falcons is probably safer because obviously it's the favored. And then I have this game being over 50. But the fun fact about Kirk Cousins is he bumps better against better competition. The Seattle Seahawks is not better competition. So if the Seattle Seahawks can pull ahead and score at the start of the game, which they should be able to do because even the Panthers were able to put some points on the board at first, then I do think that this game can go over 50 as long as Seattle starts the game hot, starts the game on the ground, starts the game with some points, then yes. If they cannot, then it's slow. It's extremely slow, actually. So let's get this thing going. Anytime touchdowns, we got Kenneth Walker. I like that. Bijan Robinson had 2 touchdowns last week. I think he can do it again. I actually like Algier to score this week. I'm going to obviously have to take either Drake London or Kyle Pitts, not both. But why take Kyle Pitts when Darnell Mooney is right there? I can see Darnell Mooney getting a touchdown. I can see DK Metcalf getting a touchdown because there's not a receiver big enough there to stop him. And I will call it that for the touchdowns. These are all your touchdown options. Does not mean you should take every player on this touchdown player list. Let's go to the receiving props. So far this year, DK Metcalf has actually been pretty consistent with his receptions. Last week he fell under, so I think this week we're safe with the over against the Falcons. Drake London against this team, I would probably prefer to take Darnell Mooney's 51 and leave Drake London 72 alone. Kyle Pitts, where are you? 40.5. I probably won't touch it, but if you do, I understand. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I'm going to be scary this game and say no. But I'm not going to take the under on Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm just going to leave that where it is. I'm not going to take Kenneth Walker's receiving yards. I'm not going to take Bijan's. I'll probably take Bijan's, but I feel like the dump offs haven't quite been there as much as they were before. But Bijan is prone to a lot of receptions, so I like that actually. Bijan Robinson 3.5. Darnell Mooney 4.5. I don't think Darnell Mooney gets 5 receptions this game, but I did take his receiving yards, so it's like I'm just talking if I don't take that, right? But I don't think he gets that 4.5 this game. I do like Bijan. I do like DK Metcalf. He's kind of been on a tear with the receptions. Kenneth Walker's receiving receptions seem like a lock, and I do not want to take it for that exact reason. But I will say, as far as first quarter receiving yards, something that player to record 20 plus reception, 20-yard reception. I would go Darnell Mooney on that, but I'm not going to take that one. I came in for the first quarter receiving yards. DK Metcalf 11.5. Okay. If I can go under 7.5 first quarter receiving yards for Jackson Smith and Jigba, I probably would take it. But I'm not going to take that because that's not what I came here for. I like DK Metcalf 11.5 because DK Metcalf gets a target a drive, and I think he can. Kyle Pitts 4.5 in the first. I'm gonna go with under on that because that's just how they play. Kenneth Walker first quarter receiving yards. If it's a good drive, that 1.5 is such a steal. If they at least get 2 drives, he's gonna get that 1.5 at some point. But I'll leave that. I'll leave that alone. I just want to show you guys so you guys can see that that is an option. As far as the rushing props go, I'm going to take the under 62 for Bijan Robinson. I'm going to take the over 41 for Tyler Algier. No, I'm not. I don't know why I said that. I'm going to take the over 67.5 total rushing yards for Kenneth Walker because I think the Seattle Seahawks want to run. They want to use Kenneth Walker. They want to force Kenneth Walker to have the ball at some point. And that's it. That's it for me. I'm not going to do too much this game. I like this game. I actually like this game a lot. It's probably one of my favorite games on the slate, as you can see from the 17 legs we took from this game. But I got Seattle Seahawks +3. I have Atlanta Falcons money line. Darnell Mooney over 51.5 receiving yards. DK Metcalf over 67.5 receiving yards. Bijan Robinson over 22.5 receiving yards. Kyle Pitts under 4.5 first quarter receiving yards. DK Metcalf over 11.5 receiving yards in the first quarter. DK Metcalf, 4.5 receptions. Bijan Robinson over 3.5 receptions. Bijan Robinson 62 and under 62.5 rushing yards. Kenneth Walker under 67.5 rushing yards. And the game line being under 50. And then to the touchdowns, which I ignored the first time, we got Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, Kenneth Walker, and DK Metcalf and Darnell Mooney. Those are that's my whatchamacallit. That's my plays for this game. Yeah, so thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like and subscribe. We got another part coming to you for that's the last part for the 1 p.m. EST slate. We have another part coming to you for the 4 p.m. slate. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Hit that notification bell. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Make us one of your sources. We on Apple Music and Spotify. Fuck with us. Them football guys. We everywhere you need us. Let us know how you feeling about our content. Let us know what type of content you prefer to see. If there is a type of content you prefer to see. Some of our videos you guys tend to watch. You guys tend to, see a lot of the you guys seem to be, you're kind of iffy on which start sit videos you like, but fantasies week to week. Betting podcast, we're gonna try to be more consistent, drop this every week. We missed y'all, we love y'all, and then we're gonna start putting out some more live videos. Well, probably less live videos. We'll get on the lives, interact with us there. Make us one of your sources. We everywhere you need us. Thank y'all for tuning in. Them football guys, we love y'all, man.
Can't come around me. I sit back and enjoy when I come on money. I pull me a 4 and I keep it.